The Communist Manifesto, written in 1848, was indeed a call for a global takeover, but Marx didn't view it as a conspiracy to install an authoritarian king, but rather he viewed it as an inevitable rescue mission for humanity. To understand how he came up with this, you have to look at the world through his eyes in the mid-19th century. It wasn't a time of happy shopkeepers. It was the brutal start of the Industrial Revolution. He accurately diagnosed the problems of early capitalism, that of inequality and exploitation, but his cure, a violent revolution leading to a total state takeover of the economy, inevitably created the blueprint that later dictators would use to seize absolute power. When historians tally the death toll of communism, they generally count deaths caused by three things: state-sponsored execution and murder, forced labor camps, and man-made famines caused by government policy. Estimates vary, but most historians place the total death toll between 85 million and 100 million people worldwide during the 20th century. The highest casualties occurred in the People's Republic of China under Mao Zedong, where the Great Leap Forward and Cultural Revolution resulted in roughly 45 to 65 million deaths. The Soviet Union under Stalin and Lenin saw approximately 20 million people perish through political purges, the Gulag camp system, and the Holodomor famine in Ukraine. In Cambodia, the Khmer Rouge regime eradicated nearly 2 million people. That's almost 25% of the country's population in the killing fields, while North Korea's totalitarian rule has caused an estimated 2 to 3 million deaths, largely from starvation and prison camps. Additional millions died under communist regimes in Eastern Europe, Vietnam, Ethiopia, and Afghanistan, marking it as one of the deadliest ideologies in human history. Marx's theory laid out a specific two-step roadmap for a global takeover. The first step is socialism, where the revolutionary government seizes absolute power, abolishes private property, and takes ownership of all businesses, factories, and banks to forcefully redistribute wealth. This dictatorship is intended to be a transition period that paves the way for the second step, communism. In this final stage, the plan claims that once all class enemies are removed and property is shared, the state will essentially dissolve and leave a utopian society without money or government. Throughout history, every country that has attempted this plan got stuck in the first phase of total state control and never let go. Despite the 100% failure rate of this system, it is still extremely popular amongst young people in the West because it is taught in school and accepted by academia. Intellectuals often love Marxism because it is a system designed by intellectuals for intellectuals. It suggests that society should be run by planners and experts, rather than by business owners and market forces. It appeals to the academic ego. It tells them the world is messy because greedy tradesmen run it. If we smart people ran it, it would be perfect. This delusional thinking is like a virus, and will not be easy to stop, as most supporters live in wealthy, capitalist countries that allow them the luxury of criticizing the system without fear of the secret police. They are looking at the blueprint to the promise of equality while ignoring the pile of collapsed houses. History has exposed this is probably because they have never had to pick up a shovel and clear the rubble themselves. In conclusion, I believe that the supreme irony of history is that the machinery of revolution is often oiled by the very people it is designed to crush. These virtuous elites, driven by a luxury born of capitalism and a guilt born of comfort, believe they can tame the beast of authoritarianism with good intentions. They fail to see that in tearing down the pillars of the free market to assuage their conscience, they are not building a utopia, but merely excavating the foundation for their own graves.